I think it makes sense because she needs to speak to working class swing voters, independents, Republicans who are still on the fence. I don't know if you heard from her director to 270, David Plouffe, this morning. He thinks they're still gettable. And if those are the persuadable voters, you got to get them where they are. And they're watching Fox News. The people, I mean, really MAGA type Republicans, they think Fox is too liberal. I mean, they really do. Yeah, I know this because I know a few of them. You know what? So Fox is really a place for Nikki Haley land voters.
It's actually, I mean, I think there's a misconception about who watches Fox, right? And it's really a lot of different types of people that she might need to talk to.
Some Democrats
she might need to talk to.
Fox.
I was actually surprised that she's never done a Fox interview.
You know what was amazing to me about this is, she turned down the Fox News debate. They offered a debate, and she didn't want to do it. And now, with 3 weeks to go, we're scrambling over to Fox News because this campaign is in a full-blown panic. I do want to say a word about Bret Baier. Everybody seems to be crapping on him today.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And on top of that, she's definitely going to sit here and try to say, oh, well, Trump doesn't want to do another debate. But here I am. I'm putting myself out there on Fox. So who's really the bold one? Who's really the bold, fearless leader? That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to paint Trump in his bad image like they always do and sit here and say that he's coward, he's a coward, he's cowardly, and he's chickened out. And when in reality, no, they keep doing these 3v1s on him. They keep attacking him, and it's unfair, it's rigged, it's set up from the jump. And he's like, no, why would I put myself through this consistently over and over again? Okay, so that's pretty much what it's been this entire time, and we've seen that. So before we continue on with this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, share these videos, and welcome to the King Squad. This is the best reaction channel on YouTube, and if nobody told you guys today, I hope you guys are having a great and awesome day. Be sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and share these videos. Comment down below what you guys think of this, and let's get into it.
Bret Baier's one of the best journalists out there. He's going to ask her good questions, and if the 60 Minutes interview or The View or anything else she's done lately was hard for her, Bret Baier's going to put her through her paces, and so this is a dangerous thing because he's a real journalist who's going to ask real questions.
I don't know. Have people been attacked?
Yeah, I look forward to it because Kamala Harris has been doing these tiptoe, feather, very light interviews, okay, where she's protected, she's in a safe space, they don't drill her with questions because this is a serious job that she's looking at trying to do, and she was not elected, and then she's being protected by just being tossed onto these featherweight shows and doing these little interviews. Okay, the interview with Oprah, the Call Her Daddy podcast, and there was some others, but yeah, all this kind of stuff they've been in favor of her. They haven't really asked her any hard-hitting questions, and each time we see that she has no policies, no real plans. It's just ridiculous.
Brett, I feel like people have been generally praising him.
The algorithms work in mysterious ways.
One of the better Trump interviews he conducted. No, so there's that.
I think it's really smart. I agree that there could be voters to be had there. And just want to say to Scott that the Kamala Harris campaign is in no way in full-blown panic. She's doing exactly what everyone was saying she needs to do. She is now everywhere. What is it called? Everything, everywhere, all at once. That's what she's doing because that's what she can be doing, right? She is expanding the map in a way that I don't think people were expecting her to do. Right now, let's just look at her coalition. Her coalition is from Bernie Sanders and AOC to Dick Cheney.
Are you saying she put new
that
states
is
on?
the kind of spectrum that you expect from a campaign that is speaking to all American voters. And her message...
Hold on. The vice president... Hold on. You said she's expanding the map?
North Carolina, Georgia, those states were not...
That's been on the map all year.
No.
Come on, guys.
North Carolina was not
No, my friend. Come on.
Hold on.
Lord have mercy.
All right, Chair Michael, go ahead.
If the vice president, and we talked about this in the previous segment, if the campaign was doing so well, if she was so ahead in the polls, she would not be going on Fox News. She would not sit down with Bret Baier. I'm almost certain if I were a Democratic strategist, I would be very concerned about potentially putting my candidate on Fox News, where she's asked a question where she doesn't appear to be well, or she doesn't answer well, I should say.
Hang on. That is one way of looking at it. But I mean, I think you could also look at it strategically as this probably should have happened earlier, whether she was up or not. I mean, when you look at someone like Pete Buttigieg, he's always on Fox.
Oh, he's great.
Listen,
he's on Fox.
Guys,
but he's good at it. She's not.
I feel like if we took names off of people's itinerary you would look at her itinerary and be like, she's a winner and your guy's a loser. Point blank.
Why?
Wow. I tell you, some people are just delusional. I mean, Kamala Harris is definitely in a whole panic because now they're trying to sit here and pander to black men over here. They realize they fumbled with Obama. So then they're out here trying to give black men, hey, we'll give you forgivable loans and some weed if you guys will vote for us. Sound good, don't it? No. First of all, that's an attack on the black community all over again. Okay. And then that just leaves our best and brightest just destroyed. Like, what do I look like taking that? Like, imagine that. No, that's ridiculous. So, and they're doing anything. Okay. It did not look good after Obama fumbled the ball when he sat here and tried scolding black men for them not voting Kamala Harris. Well, first of all, she's not even black. It's just, and the list goes on. Okay. Let's go.
Because of the places she goes from the shade room to Fox. That's range, okay? Your guy doesn't do that. Your guy goes to safe spaces.
We would like to see Donald Trump.
First of all, did you not see the debates? Second of all, then this man they did all these assassination attempts on his life. Okay, you don't see anybody trying to do assassination attempts on Kamala Harris. Why? Okay, because they're with Kamala Harris, okay? And then the mainstream media is hyping these guys up to sit here and think, okay, well, Trump really is this bad guy. They're thinking about actually taking him out, and then that's why they're making these attempts on his life. Okay, so Trump has to be cautious and be careful, okay? He's actually got people trying to literally sabotage him and, get him deleted. All right, so it's pretty nuts out here.
Scott, we would like to see Donald Trump here on
He did Katie Collins, did he not, in this cycle? Did he not do a
He wasn't even the nominee.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, that was
He wasn't the nominee.
I've seen a number of reporting from Axios and a whole bunch of other outlets talking about how Democrats are concerned that the vice president isn't doing enough in terms of interviews, isn't doing enough in terms of campaigning on the campaign trail. Yeah. So clearly, folks on your side are a bit worried about where the campaign is.
I'm saying candidate for candidate, because that's what we got.
Okay.
Candidate for candidate. She has done more interviews in the short amount of time, and in a more diverse, more diverse. Yes, really. Yes.
Traditional, non-traditional.
What's the view
I can smell the TDS through the screen.
from what they're not saying publicly on either side? I mean, I'm curious about how everybody sees this.
I think a lot of the feeling is that this is a little too late, that she should have been doing this all along, and that because she hasn't stepped into this fray, like her base was already activated the second that she was the nominee. They were so tired of Joe Biden. They were so excited. So that really Kamala Harris probably should have been doing this Fox interview about 2 months ago and defining herself. And right now, she's just really starting to define her. Because what you're seeing is that she hasn't really been able to separate herself from Biden.
But in all
and
fairness,
that's the problem that they're dealing with.
She had to put together.
She hasn't really been able to separate herself from Biden. She literally just got on The View and said that she wouldn't do anything different than Biden. So it's Biden all over again, but through Kamala. Stuff is nuts.
Her whole campaign
before
she figured out what she's going to do.
But you can still do interviews.
This is the same excuse. Get updated excuses.
The constricted time frame is actually something that she had to deal with. And if you actually want to talk about who's in full-blown panic, who has said no to the CNN debate? Who said no to 60 Minutes?
Who said no to the Fox News debate?
Who said no to 60 Minutes? Who is now not doing any kind of other interview?
Less Trump is better for him.
Because your candidate
exactly.
is...
His team knows that.
Says it all, right there.
Let's Trump. Listen. You just said.
Go ahead.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Thank you for
I'm a
taking the bait.
strategist. Obviously, you're going to make the best decisions for your candidate.
That's why I said candidate for candidate. Ours is doing more because when your candidate gets up there.
And have you seen some of the clips?
Let me finish.
All right, go ahead.
When your candidate.
So let me hush up. Go ahead.
When you're let me stop. It doesn't matter if I'm black woman or not. Just don't cut me off. When your candidate speaks, it's undisciplined, unhinged, disrespectful, and it hurts him. So yes, less more is better. Less Trump is better for Donald Trump. The problem is.
That's cap. That is super cap. Okay, Trump is bold. He's an open book, and he tells it like it is. Whereas Kamala Harris is copying Trump's policies. She's out here saying that she's going to do all these things, give forgivable loans to people, and then they threw that on the list for black men. But we all know that forgivable loans, that's going to the LD, HD TV community, okay, and everybody else. It's not really just geared specifically towards black men. And then they're pandering to everybody. It's a giant conundrum, okay? And like I said, this man Trump has literally had all these assassination attempts on his life because he actually is a real threat to, like, this socialist government that you guys are trying to ensure the power of. And yeah, I just don't know how people don't see that. Delulu Island is packed.
Is that if he gets 4 more years, there's no more less Trump.
Oh, Ashley.
There's no more less Trump.
Ashley,
So
is that really going to be the message from the Harris Walls campaign?
No, I
that
don't
they
work
think
for
is
the
going to
Harris
push them
Walls
over the
campaign.
finish
Let me
line?
ask you a serious question about her strategy. You seem to think that quantity is better than quality. And I know you couldn't possibly think that most of the things she has done in the last 2 weeks have been anywhere near helpful to the campaign. 60 Minutes was an abject disaster, and the little 15-second thing on The View, when she couldn't think of a single thing she would have done different than Biden, was the single worst soundbite she has uttered in this campaign. So quantity
So
here
let me
is
ask you
not
this.
quality.
Let me
Quantity
ask
is
you
not
this.
quality.
Okay, I'm gonna make you a meme. Okay, because you said she should have been doing more of this 2 months ago. So if she wasn't doing more of this, what would have been your talking point? The problem is what we're just trying to say is it doesn't matter which standard she meets.
Right.
If Donald Trump didn't even do a 60-minute interview, so don't put 60 minutes in my face. Whether it was good for her or bad for her, your dude won't even go
Yeah,
on.
and on net, she came out worse for it.
But
Hang
that's
on,
not my argument.
Hang on just a second.
Why
I mean,
worse?
first of all,
Dodging makes
it
it
is
look weak.
very hyperbolic
Yes,
to
it
say
does.
that 60 Minutes
wasn't.
was an abject
Exactly.
disaster.
Immigration
Thank you.
issues alone
Look,
was a
Scott,
disaster.
I mean, Scott,
But it
let's be
was.
real for a second.
It
I mean, there
was.
were answers that you didn't like. It does not mean that it was an
Right.
abject
Just me, it's
disaster.
like lots of voters.
And to your point,
No, it was literally a disaster, you know. And then, like I said, the in my previous videos, and we showed it. The Border Patrol literally just endorsed Trump. Okay, this immigrant crisis is through the roof, and then people are being deleted, and kids are being tortured and deleted, and all this other kind of stuff, and the immigrants are being rewarded for this stuff and living the American dream. Yeah, Delulu Island is packed. Delulu Island is packed.
Donald Trump wasn't there.
That's
he didn't
right.
do it at all.
That
but-
looks
but-
worse, in my
I mean,
opinion.
that's not my
the fact
argument.
that he didn't
Go
do
ahead,
it.
Tara. Yeah.
The fact that he didn't do 60 Minutes actually looks worse. It looks weak. And the
It
same,
does
and
look weak.
when he doesn't want to take a debate, it also
Right.
looks weak. But at the end of the day, it is much worse for those voters who are on the fence.
I know she did not just say it looks weak. What would you do if you got shot in the ear? Okay, what would you do if you had people plotting on you for your downfall? Okay, what would you, man? It looks weak. Come on, man.
To see more Trump.
I tell you, Delulu Island is packed. So yeah, that's that for that video. Let's see what they're saying in the comments. If she wants to be the American president, she must be able to handle a hostile interview. Scott Jennings is the living embodiment of pissing on your leg and trying to convince you it's raining. All right. Wow. I tell you, Delulu Island is packed. Delulu Island is packed out here. Yeah. So it's liberal land over here, but that's to be expected from a CNN clip. That's to be expected from a CNN clip. Wow. I tell you, these people are they're just voluntarily, just willingly ushering in socialism and communism. And then they're the ones that are going to be impacted. They're the ones whose lives are going to get harder. Okay, our lives are going to be affected. Okay, by our lack of informed voting and choosing to just vote somebody in based off identity politics and stuff that makes you feel good. So, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. And then then Kamala Harris wants to give weed to everybody and give weed and forgivable loans. All right. But then are we going to sit here and ignore how she handled Maui and how she handled the hurricane victims? Okay, people are going to have to pay those loans back. All right. And on top of that, the $750 they gave to the hurricane victims, that was a loan. So how do you think she's going to run America? Okay, inflation is going to go sky high, and people think they're broke now. They're going to really be broke Okay, people are really going to struggle. It's going to really feel like the barbarian is through the gate. Okay, it's going to really suck. Okay, people are trying to enjoy the remainder of their years. People are trying to start families. People are bringing kids into this world. Meanwhile, liberals are fighting for baby deletions and inflation and really just voting in their own demise. And they're just willing to sabotage themselves and their generational wealth and all this other kind of stuff and destroy family. It's just a mess. I'm just baffled. But then again, they hate common sense, and common sense ain't common. Okay, so that's that, guys. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have to say. I ask that you please keep it respectful, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Shout out to the King Squad, the King Squad family, the King Squad Elites. You guys are the bomb.com, and don't let anybody tell you different. Peace.